Hello, peeps. I'm your boy, Georgia Porgy, and you've just tuned in to Night Sky Ministries Tarot Reading. Now, today, we have a couple of cool guests coming on. It's Liz and Nathan. They have some pretty interesting ghost stories to tell us, to share with us. And after that, we'll do a couple of tarot readings. Okay? So, first things first, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Pimp slap that bell notification icon. Share this with all your friends. Brag to all your friends about this. And also have them subscribe. Okay? Share this with all your friends. Woo, we got some latency here. And also have caption icon. Okay? Share this with all your friends. Right. We got some latency here. And also have caption icon. Okay? Share this with all your friends. Right. We got some latency here. That's so cool. Also have caption icon. That sounds all psychedelic. That's so cool. Like I could yell, Echo! How's it going, Source Adversity? He says, oh, it's magic, you know. Yeah, I think it was funny that it kicked on the way it did. But yeah, I really appreciate everyone who tunes in, and also everyone who subscribes. And if you can, anybody who watches this, please donate to this channel. You can do that by going to my front page and clicking on the PayPal icon. Also, in the descriptions where you can, down below, right before you can comment, you see where it says show more. Click on show more, and that'll drop down. And you'll see where you can click on the PayPal link. You can click on the PayPal link and subscribe to subscribe. You click on the PayPal link and you can donate to my channel. Also, you'll see the links for our podcasts for Spotify and for Red Circle, so you guys can go and check that out and show that to your friends. But yeah, first and foremost, happy Walpurgisnacht, everyone. Happy Walpurgisnacht. Hi, Jesse. Tonight's the night of the peak of spring. Woo! Spring. Tonight I will be performing a ritual. And if you'd like to learn more about what Walpurgisnacht is, Walpurgisnacht, go ahead and Google it. Look it up on YouTube and stuff. I would get more into detail about it. It's just, honestly, I don't want this video to go on longer than what it has to be, because I'm excited about the ghost stories right now. And I think it's fun that when I have someone else telling the ghost stories, I'm so used to like being the person sitting there and speaking about my experiences, and other people just give one or two stories. These people here that we're gonna have on, our guests, they have some pretty interesting ghost stories to tell, and I'd like to get to that. But yeah, On the last night of April, people like me, and no, I'm not a Wiccan. I'm an occultist. Okay. Um, there is a difference. An occultist will practice and study everything that it takes to, you know, enlighten himself. He seeks out the truth and all. And uh, people like me also know that what works for you works for you, and what doesn't work for you, toss it out. You know, um, you are the captain of your own fate. You are the captain of your own destiny. You pretty much. Uh, I am my will I create. All right, pretty much. And it's always smart to read on everything. It's always smart to study on everything, and be like a scientist. With your theory and practice, you'll have a theory and you practice it, but and you'll keep fine tuning it until you get the result that you're looking for. All right, man. Um, what I'm gonna do now is how's it going, Kevin Walter? What I'm gonna do now is invite our guests to come in and introduce themselves and get to the ghost stories first. And then after we're done with the ghost stories, I'll go ahead and do a few card readings, okay? So, yeah. Let's see now. Let's see. Go to the Hangouts. Yeah. Then come over here and copy this person's address, paste it in here, and invite. Yeah. Yeah. Invitation posted. Liz, I sent you an invitation. And invite. Yeah. You're going to have to mute your screen so that it doesn't interfere when you're speaking. Liz, I sent you. Don't mute your Hangout screen. You're gonna mute the YouTube screen.
Whoa.
There we go.
Yes.
All right. What up?
And we can invite your friend if you want me to invite your friend Nathan.
Yeah.
Does he have his device with him that he's gonna use?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Comments here. Nathan. Commit mir. Let's see. Copy. Then we come here. And then we go here and paste. And send an invite to him too. Commit mir, Nathan.
Where's the invite?
Oh, where are you sending the invite to?
To Hangouts.
To your Hangouts. Did you download that?
Oh, do I gotta?
Yeah, I told you to do that earlier.
Oh, my bad.
I told him to do that earlier.
Yup.
It's all good.
Okay, I'll just some.
Either way, I could always swap it over. So, whatever's easier.
Yes.
It's on delay.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Hold on.
All right, Veg Beauty. Do you read? I love to read. I love to read. I'm actually reading right now too. Yep. I'm reading what you wrote. I had to read
Are you serious?
what address I was copying and pasting to invite these lovely people into our channel and speak with us. Yep.
Okay.
My favorite things to read though is the Goetia, Anton LaVey's writings, Aleister Crowley's writings. I love H.P. Lovecraft. I love H.P. Lovecraft.
I mean,
Okay, he's in the Hangouts now.
All right. The invite should still be valid.
where does it show up?
Here, let's see. Let's see. Technical difficulties.
I think
In case you don't know, I'm imitating the dude in Black Ops Zombies. That's my favorite video game of all times. Black Ops. I love Black Ops Original Zombies and Black Ops 2 Zombies. There you go. I sent you another invitation.
this
Where
iPad.
do I receive it?
Yeah, I don't think he knows if he's gonna be able to do it, so I could always just swap over the iPad to him.
You don't know how to do it?
I mean, should I say something?
You should have learned how to do it by now.
Where does the invite come through? I have Hangouts open. I just don't know what I'm looking for, I guess.
Let's see. Hey, how's it going, Christo? Your Hangouts. I have no clue. Only because
Is there a URL maybe that I could click that sends me to it?
you should have gotten it by, let's see.
Yeah, I thought I sent you the link to your email.
Oh shit, I'm nathangarciaofficial@gmail.com. I'm sorry.
You just clicked
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yes. And excuse us while we get all this situated, my friends. But as soon as it's all situated,
1 second.
we shall have some fun.
Okay, I got it.
He said he got it.
All right. Yeah. I'm munching on cranberries.
Where did my mouse go? My mouse went MIA.
Oh, it's upside down. It's cranberry sauce, jellied cranberry sauce. Yep. I had a sweet tooth and I was like, there's nothing. And I love chocolate. There's no chocolate right now.
How do I mute it on here?
Pasting go.
Yes.
What are you eating? Oh, cranberry sauce?
Yeah, cranberry sauce.
I got Red Bull.
Jesse is munching on Rocky Road ice cream, she said. Yeah. And then one of my other little homies popped in here that said hi. What's up? Much love to all y'all. And happy Walpurgisnacht to all you guys. Let's see. I'll send everyone a smile. There we go.
Yeah.
I kind of gave myself a stick and poke, and I regret it. Hell.
Nathan wants to know if I can just start and then he'll jump in while he tries to figure this out.
I'm on. I just recovering my.
Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine.
Okay. Sorry about that, everybody.
It's okay. Well, see, that's why earlier um uh before I even start the show, I like to go and go over everything first. That way, when we have the show going, you already know more or less like what to expect and what to do and everything. And that's why I went over everything with Liz. But I did send you the invite, and I was gonna go over all this with you. It's just you were not logged in on Gmail at the time when you should have been. Shame on.
Yeah,
I
I
told
was
him.
in.
I told him.
She told you. She told you.
I am about maybe 1 minute. Hold on.
Jesse, it's a tattoo you do yourself with a needle and ink. Oh, you tattooed yourself? I want to see that. You're gonna have to give me send me a what's it called, a picture of it in Messenger or something. Yep.
I'm signed in. Okay.
Mm. See, if I knew that you were talking about that kind of stick and poke, I would have asked. One of our friends on here told me that I kind of gave myself a stick and poke, and I regret it. Help. See, now you're gonna have, if you want, you're gonna have to come over here to my town and let me turn around and cover that stick and poke up with a rad tattoo. Source adversary is just smiling. All right, guys. Liz. Hello, Liz.
Howdy.
So, let us know and inform us about the ghost stuff.
Okay. Before I go into that, I did want to point out that I never used to believe in ghosts. Wasn't anything that I ever thought about. Just never thought about it. I ended up moving somewhere when I went to college with some roommates. Um, and whatever was there, let me know it was there. And it pretty much made me a firm believer for sure. Um, so I guess the first thing was it'd be little things. I'd be taking a shower and I'd hear something say, Liz, Liz. And I knew that there was nobody in the house when I had gotten in the shower, obviously. And so I'm thinking, oh, someone must have came home. Maybe something happened. So I ran out in my towel. Nobody's there. And so I get back in the shower. I'm like, okay, I'm tripping. I don't know what's going on. Whatever. It's nothing. So, there'd be little encounters like that. And then some of the stuff started getting pretty intense. Like when I would sleep in the living room with these roommates, and this was in Arizona, by the way. And I know there's probably some crazy things that might have happened back in the day. I don't know, like before properties were built. I mean, who knows? I never could figure out what happened. But um, in that apartment, when I would sleep on the couch, I'd have these crazy, wicked dreams, like just like really bad nightmares. And then I would twitch awake and I would literally feel something shaking me and jerking me and like just leaving marks on me when I'd wake up. I'd have scratches on me, I'd have bruises on me. And at that point it's like, okay, there's something here. And my roommates did mention to me, there's something here, whenever we would eat mushrooms, they said they would see stuff. And I didn't believe them because, like I said, I was a
Oh
skeptic.
yeah, you do, and it's
Yeah.
not like the movies either.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna see something that's not there either. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Um, and someone just commented ghost or demon. So I believe it was a demon. Like after later years, I did a lot of research and I'm pretty sure it was a demon. Um, so, I'd get scratches, bruises, marks on me. And so at that point, I realized, okay, yeah, they're right. They weren't lying to me. There is something here. Um, so those were some of the things that would happen all the time. And then there would be my roommates would have animals. like birds, and I always wondered why they would always get them, and like nothing against them, but the birds would always die, like, and it would look like, yeah, like, and then they would get another one, and I'm like, guys, what's happening? Like, that's kind of strange, and the poor birds would always kill over. So that was another thing that would happen, and at that point I was already, that's it, I'm a believer. Um, so there was that, and then sometimes I'd be laying there and I'd be falling asleep and I would feel like a gust of wind, like, and it was fast, and it's like, and it kind of, and it would have a sound too. So like when you're standing outside and a car's going like 90 miles per hour and you hear that loud gust of wind, like that's what I would hear, and it would just, like, I don't know if it was flying through me or over me or what it was doing, but I would lay there and then all of a sudden I wake up and I just hear that loud wind, and then it was cold. So that would happen, and then every now and then I would actually even catch it. It was just like a white form, and it was like a big mass. It was insane. Um, it happened so much that I had to get the heck out of that house. Like, I couldn't stay there anymore. It was just too intense. And I think with that experience, it kind of made me sensitive now, because now, like, I definitely notice more things that are around. I see things more. Like now where I'm living, we do have a ghost here, and it's not a demon. I know it's a ghost because it's not malicious. It's just letting us know, hey, I'm here. I don't know if it's like a residual or what, because I do always tend to see it like in the same spot around the same time, in the nights, usually around like 2 or 3 in the morning, because I can never sleep. So that's basically kind of all that I really have. But the one that's in my house, I mean, we're cool with it. My boyfriend's even seen it. It was like a big black mass he said he saw in the middle of the night at, like, I think like 3 in the morning, and he's saying, I think it was the fan. It was the fan, and I know that there's something here. I've seen it before. I've gotten a picture. I have a picture that I could probably show you later, and it looks like a child. It's like a weird image, but I mean, it's not malicious. It's cool, but definitely, if you are, you know, interested, I could show it to you later. But that's all I really have. But
Oh, you have an actual image of it?
yeah, it's a little. I mean, I think it's a pretty good image. I can pull it up and then I can send it to you if you want to show it. Just have an open mind. I mean, I could be tripping from the picture, but I definitely see something. My friend Nathan says he sees something in it. So as soon as I can find it, I can show you. Um,
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Your cameras have gone
um,
off a few times,
what?
right? Your motion cameras.
Oh yeah, and then I do have some motion cameras too in my house that go off all the time in the middle of the night. Um, and here and there, like a cabinet will open. Oh, and one of the other things too in that apartment, in Arizona, sometimes when I would leave, the door would shut and would lock, and the neighbors would come around and talk about that too, how their doors would shut and lock. So whatever it is, there was something there.
Haha, that's awesome. I
Yeah.
remember being at my brother Ty's house. It was up in Victorville, and what's it called? One of his friends had came over with their daughter, and they seen me in the backyard. I was in the backyard smoking, so they walk up to the glass sliding door that leads to the backyard, and they were talking to me. They said, "Hey, Georgie, what are you doing?" And blah blah blah. We're talking, and right when they're talking, and we're talking back and forth, you hear a click as she looks down, and what happened was the lock for the sliding door had got pushed down, like it locked.
Oh
Whoa!
wow.
And so she steps back, and then she accidentally says, a cuss word like "oh s," you know.
Wow.
And my brother's friend said, "What's wrong? Why are you talking like that? What's wrong with you?" And then she turns around and looks at my brother's friend and says, "The door locked by itself." And I started laughing, and she says, "Why'd you lock him out for?" And I told my brother's friend, she didn't lock me out. She didn't touch the lock. It did it by itself. It was the ghost.
Yeah.
And then she tripped out. She turns and looks
Yeah.
at my brother. My brother's laughing. And he says, "Yeah, it's a ghost that's here." I said, "It's a little girl like you." And I pointed to her daughter that was talking to me. And she says, "No, no, I didn't lock it."
Oh, wow. Was this in Calexico or?
No, Victorville.
Oh, in Victorville. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are the experiences that you've had in Calexico?
I only actually had one. So there's these like project apartments. I can't remember what street it was on. Um, but one of the neighbors there in the apartment has, and he had told us that they had something there. And I was like, yeah, I believe you for sure, because this was way after, Arizona. And one time we were hanging out and he had on like a tiny little desk lamp on, and we were all listening to music, and like crazy for real, like sure enough, you see on the wall a figure of a little girl, and it was a shadow. It was kind of like Peter Pan's shadow. It was trippy. It was like a shadow of a little girl on the wall, like it was just walking away, but you could see like the silhouette of it on the wall. It tripped me out. And he told me, sometimes we'd see a little girl at night, we'd hear the laughing, and then I looked at him and I told him, "Did you just see that?" And he said, "Yeah, I did. I told you." And I was like, "Damn, that's cool." Like, it's definitely awesome now, like to see that stuff. Like I used to be afraid. I mean, demons, yeah, you're gonna be afraid of them, but like now I'm like trying to find them. Like it's crazy. Like
Well, see,
it's
the
pretty cool.
secret is to don't be afraid.
Yeah.
I do believe in the feeders.
You're gonna have to mute your YouTube. Oh, wait. I realize you're on LSD.
A witch laugh.
Now all three of us are in the chat.
Yeah.
I mean,
What is happening?
he has to mute the
Like that.
YouTube.
Testing.
We got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got it.
All right. Well, it shows that he's muted. You're not gonna mute the Hangouts. You're gonna mute the what's it called? The YouTube channel. But that's fine as long as he can hear, and we can hear you because you're sitting right next to Liz.
Oh, wow. Hey, Kevin, can you grab me a charger?
Well, okay.
Probably a portable one. Go ahead.
I don't have YouTube open right this second, but I do have you muted. Let me see if it's okay. So when I mute Hangouts, it seems good.
Okay, it's all good.
Okay. Awesome.
That sounds so cool. It reminded me of when my band Night Sky Ministries used to play gigs, and we were a pretty psychedelic band, and we'd come out with effects like that towards the ending of a song and just let it ring out.
I'm going to try to find that picture. Actually, we were just talking about something. I was sending off about something about the little girl, and then we trailed somewhere, and then Nathan messed it up. I don't remember where I was at. The little girl is everywhere. I think everybody's seen that little girl in Calexico.
Yeah, Jesse says someone seen a little girl in my house too. That little girl is everywhere.
Hey, there's a kid in my house, so for all we know, it could be the girl.
And see, what I trip out on is okay, there's mean spirits that used to be human, right? And then there's spirits that are like entities that never were in human forms.
Mm-hmm.
There's some nice entities, and then there's vicious entities. And usually they go after the ones that are vicious, go after people that are afraid, or people with well, I don't want to be mean, but they go after people that are weak-minded too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm not being mean when I say that. If there's anybody out there that's weak-minded, that's on you. That's not my fault.
And I think
But
that's why that demon tortured me, because I was terrified of it and it knew it. And it just didn't leave me alone. And my roommates, they weren't even scared of it anymore. It didn't even bother them. And I think it's because it found a new victim. So, I hear you. They call those feeders, right?
well, everything feeds on energy. Like when we eat, we're eating what's it called? The flesh of say right now I'm eating the flesh of cranberries, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what did the cranberries eat? The cranberries ate what you put in their fertilizer and what the sun gave them, right? And what is all that? It's all energy. So basically,
Yeah.
everything feeds on energy. And since these things are kind of like in between stations, like say like they're in their own station and at the same time they're in our station and they can interact with us. And move things around where we're at. Well, they need energy just like we need energy. So
Yeah.
what they'll do is what's emotions? Emotions is energy.
Energy.
And we're almost like radios. We all vibrate like, hey man, you got a groovy vibe. We all vibrate at a certain frequency. We have low vibrations and high vibrations. Well, there's going to be some people that they're attracted to because of their vibes. So what'll happen is if there's someone who's really depressed, weak-minded, and they're scared, um, they might latch on to them and want to feed off of them. If and sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes they're just attracted to people for their own personal reason. And what's it called? There's gonna be different for every ghost or everything or every entity. It's gonna be different.
Yeah.
Almost like, okay, there's this one person I know. Almost every house they've moved into was haunted. This one house they moved into, one of my nephews was going to school with this one guy, and I guess his mom died in that house of cancer. And that house had some trippy things that would go on in there. Like I was there by myself and tripping out on it and trying to communicate and stuff, but there were some wicked things in there. And then that person that died in there, you could hear them. You can hear them mess around in the kitchen, like as if someone opened the refrigerator. And what's it called? You can hear them take a cart. What's it called? The milk gallon out. Open the milk gallon top. Grab a cup. Put it on the counter. Pour themselves milk and everything. And I went over there. And real quiet though. I went over there and I peeked around the corner to see if I would see anything. And you can still hear the noise, but you couldn't see anything. That like it was like they were in their own world. And see, they have to gather so much energy to manifest themselves if it's an intelligent haunting. That's why you get when you watch some paranormal investigators, they're like, oh, there's a cold spot right here. Well, yeah, that cold spot is there because they're soaking up that energy. And what's it called? They're feeding off of it. Whereas like there's gonna be other things or whatever you want to call them, entities, whatever you feel like calling them. It's your world. You call them what you want. That feed off of the emotions of people.
Yeah.
And one of humans' strongest emotions is fear. It's fear, and they will scare you. They will mess with you. Anger's another strong emotion. So they'll make you mad. They want to get you depressed. They want to, and if you're weak-minded enough, you're gonna fall for that trap. If you're not, you're gonna tell them off and tell them they're not welcome, and pretty much learn how to make them leave.
Yeah.
Or if you're a person like me, because of what I study, what I was born into, what I am, they don't mess with you. They pretty much just do their own thing. Even when I go to other people's houses that are haunted, I'll see that there's things there, and most of the time, they're not gonna, mess with me unless they're curious.
Yeah.
Then they'll wonder why I can see them, or they'll wonder why I know they're there, or they'll be like, "What are you?" You know.
Yeah. Still trying to figure it out, I guess they are.
Well, there's some that are just people that are dead and wondering like, what is this? Why did this happen? How come I'm still here?
Yeah.
You know. And there's others, they don't even know they're dead. They don't.
Well, yeah, I mean, our body is just a vehicle, for now, until we kill over.
So tell me more about Calexico.
I didn't like living there. Nah, there wasn't really too much in Calexico. Everything mostly happened in Arizona. Um, and then just like I said, I'm super sensitive now. So if I go somewhere, they don't even have to tell me if they have anything. I can always like feel it. I mean, I can tell. It's crazy how I guess you say your third eye opens. But as far as Calexico, yeah, the only thing I saw was that little girl. And I wasn't really there for too long. But I am living with one, and I did send you those pictures.
Yay!
I sent them to your Facebook Messenger.
All
So, and
right.
then I have a lot of footage I got to go through on my cameras. So if I can find anything, I'm just kind of like hesitant to go through it because I really don't want to. I don't want to have it on camera. I'm like, I really don't want to like see it on camera and have it. But like I said, it's not malicious. I just got a lot of stuff. I've got hours of footage I got to go through because I do have a camera in the house. Um, but yeah, that's all I really got for now. I mean, besides the crazy stuff in my house, just little things, cabinets opening, camera going on. My cats definitely see something. My cats are crazy. Like in the middle of the night, I'll just see the little one just roaming around and meowing and just kind of looking around at something. And I'm like, what is going on, dude? Like, and I can tell when he's playing, but the cats are really, the animals see everything that we can't see. And so they're always freaking out. And like I said, my boyfriend saw that mask that he said it was a figure of a human sitting in our room, and that's where I mostly see it. And here and there, sometimes when I'm laying in my bed, I'll from the corner of my eye, I can see like a black, like a figure looking into my room, like kind of like going like that, and then it'll just trip back out. And like there's been times where I'm like, Kevin, where are you? And he'll be in the bathroom and the door's shut, and I'm like, dude, I just saw it again. And so I like it. It doesn't bother me. Like you said, when you're weak minded, they'll mess with you. And so now I've been able to just build peace, with it. Like it's fine. I don't let it scare me anymore. I just know like maybe it doesn't know what's going on. Maybe it doesn't know it's there. Maybe it's just lost. So I once I made peace with it, I'm good. So
Yeah, lots of times, like Jesse asked right now, do you ever talk to it? I'd like to. What I'd be like, what do you want?
yeah.
Lots of times, you don't really want to communicate with them unless you know exactly what it is. If you know it's a person, and it's just someone that died and stuff, then yeah, you can go ahead and communicate with them, but let them know they can't follow you anywhere. If you don't know what it is, I suggest not trying to communicate with it.
Oh yeah.
And especially if you don't know what you're doing, because sometimes they'll lie to you if it's not what you think it is. If it's not human, it'll lie and it'll pretend to be a kid, especially kids, because well, what's more?
Wow.
What do you show more remorse towards, and have more feelings towards? What it's a kid. And if it's a spirit that says they're a kid, what are you gonna think? Oh man, and you're gonna feel sorry for it, right? That's exactly what they want.
Yeah.
If it is really a kid, and that's all you see is just a kid, you don't see anything else, it doesn't do anything else, then that's different. But what's it called? If you see like a black figure go by and it's cold, um, what's it called? You and the other person that you're with, whoever lives there with you, starts arguing over dumb things you wouldn't normally argue about, and you guys start fighting a lot, and you guys were never like that before until you moved into that place, but then all of a sudden you see like a kid ghost in there, and every once in a while it pretends like it's a kid and stuff.
Yeah.
And then later on, like more and more bad things start happening. It's not a kid. It's not a kid. And don't be messing with it. But Pedro, how's it going, Pedro? Hi, Pedro. Vote for Pedro.
Pedro.
Just had to say it. Now I want to watch Napoleon Dynamite after this. Vote for Pedro. But yeah, my advice is to not mess with it, and if you can, hit someone like me up to go make it leave. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the best advice I can give. What's your take on Ouija boards? Ouija boards, they can be helpful, and they could also hurt. It's the same thing, like a knife. It's a tool, right? Well,
Yeah.
you can use a Ouija board like a tool. If you know what you're doing, then it can be helpful. If you don't know what you're doing and you're just messing with it, then you can mess up. But it's not like the movies, man. It's not like the movies. Um, I've played with Ouija boards since I was a little kid, since before I was even a teenager. And I've never had anything go wrong with me or people around me. Um, but I've also seen videos of people getting like scared and stuff. Well, that goes back to what I was saying earlier. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. You have to. If you're the type of person who's scared of that stuff, then stay away from it. You know, but if you're the type of person that wants to learn how to use that stuff to your advantage, then start off small and hit up someone like me that can teach you that stuff. But
Yeah, because we did purchase one. Me being curious, but I wouldn't even I don't know how to use that thing, and I've read some stuff online that there's so many rules to using it, and I read something that said if it does figure eights to say goodbye, and I'm like, why is there so many rules for this? So I'm afraid to even like try to do it because I don't want to release something because with my roommates in Arizona, it was implied from another roommate that these people were playing with the Ouija board and something got out and this thing is following them. So the thing that was in the house in Arizona that was attacking me was something that had followed them there. And whenever I try to discuss, this topic with them, they don't ever like to talk about it. They always change the subject. So I'm wondering maybe it is true, and that's one thing that I'm kind of like scared about. I don't want to do the same thing. I don't want
Uh,
it to happen to me.
there's ways to protect yourself. Also, you have to remember too, everything is here.
Yeah,
It could have been something they manifested themselves out of their fear.
yeah,
You know, that's like, I mean, I've had people come to me and tell me, "Oh, spells aren't real," and I try to do an invocation and nothing happened. Well, I mean, you have to know how to do this stuff, and when you just do it just to do it, you can either hurt yourself, hurt someone else, or not experience anything, you
yeah,
know? But yeah, what they probably did uh was manifest something, or you know, there everything is one. Have you ever heard of the saying, "I am you, you are me, we are everything"?
yeah,
Yeah, and everything is nothing.
yeah,
Everything comes from this nothing, and returns to nothing. But at the same time, it's something. We give power to it. We give it a name. Uh, we give it a reason. Just like the laptops we're talking on right now, the stuff we're talking on right now, it didn't exist before. You know, it all started as a thought, and then we turned around and we as humans turned around and made them, and now they exist.
mm,
Before, they existed in comic books, so it was just a thought. But what did they do? They put it in comic books, they put them in stories and stuff, and now they exist. Right now they exist,
Yeah.
just like different gods. Astarte existed a long time ago, but she was also Isis. She was also Ishtar. Uh, she's also Astaroth and the Goetia. But what's funny is us humans, turn around and gave it different names. But
Yeah.
then there's other things like Azazel and all. There's things that existed before humans, but at the same time, us humans turned around and started giving them different names according to what culture you're from.
yeah,
Yeah.
True. True.
And then there's other things that didn't exist before us, but because we made a name for it and put energy into that, now all of a sudden it's, a force. And it's because we are all gods. We create something from nothing. Just like music. Music makes you feel a certain way. Music can do all kinds of things for you. And where's music from? You know? Before it even existed, it was just a thought. You know?
yeah,
It came from nothing into thought form and emotions, and then what they do, they turned around and created it. So there's only three real rules, if you could even call them rules. It's just I am, I will, I create. I am, I am a living, breathing, active God. I will is my true will cannot be denied, and I create is I create myself as well as my world around me. you know but yeah, everything started off as a thought and then was created. But I still think it's funny when you can walk into like Vaughn's right in Brawley, walk around and you're in the bread section by it's you and a person that's stocking the wine next to the bread section, and all of a sudden you see a loaf of bread get carried off from the top shelf, and then like someone invisible just lets it go and falls on the ground, and the person that's what's it called the person that's stocking the shelves looks at you, and I look at them with a big smile, and it's like, yeah. Yeah. Gozy Bear comes from Schlampas. Nate, I like to say X-Men's are real. They are real. Everyone's someone's ex. And we're all men. We're all humans. Mermaids are real. They can be. Look at all the Cthulhian creatures that are in the ocean right now. Things they never knew existed that they trip on. That look so alien.
I think that the deep ocean, I don't know, something about it makes me think of space.
Yeah, for reals.
Yeah.
It's just another atmosphere. Like what we live in is a certain atmosphere. When you go to space, that's a different atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's another environment that life exists in.
Damn, you're tearing up those cranberries.
They're actually pretty cool. I just
Good
gotta
idea.
take little bites at a time because dang, it's sweet and tart. I feel like pouring vodka into this little can right here. So Nathan, hail Nathans.
Where did you look
You want-
first?
Do you want to switch? Or you want to click on yours?
Yeah, how do I do
He
it?
wants to know how he turns on his webcam.
Am I not on?
I think yours froze because it just shows you posing like
Woo.
like you're a Sears model.
Okay.
Kmart?
Good. Hold on.
But it's all good. Just go ahead and point the camera towards him and fire away.
Okay,
We're gonna
cool.
swap seats.
Woo! You guys are swingers, huh? Swing seats.
Oh, that was delay. That's too funny. I thought George did that
Where's
too.
the camera?
See the lens right there? On the little
This
dot?
guy?
Yeah, so just
It's
turn
a hidden camera. Woo!
All right.
Just turn it towards you.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
My allergies are like going crazy.
Do you want me to just start?
Sure. Or introduce yourself, Nathan.
Okay. Hey guys, I'm Nathan. Yeah. Out here in California. Have a story about my apartment. As soon as I moved into it about 2 years ago, it just felt off. It didn't feel scary. It didn't feel anything specific. It just felt like maybe something was there, but not in a threatening way or anything. It just felt like a different space of like area, and I want to say that there's one of the rooms is connected to this gutted out dark space. It's just pitch black. That's also connected to other apartments. So there's 4 windows across from each other, and I have one of those windows. And I've always felt that room is like I don't like being in that one. I actually just don't use that room because of it. And also, some people's cell phones, they don't get reception in my apartment or around it, but specifically kind of my apartment. And one time I came home and you take the change out of your pocket and you set it down into something. I throw it onto my table and a penny lands vertical. So not on heads or tails, it lands just straight up. Which I have a video of that. I have a video of my reaction and I went around it, but not of me throwing it. So at that point, I'm wondering maybe it's like electromagnetic or something. Something's going on. I don't know why a coin would do that. And the next thing was I was sitting in my living room and watching Netflix, and suddenly a hoodie flies off of my dryer. And then a pair of like shorts just flies off of my dryer, and they hit the same area on the floor. And yeah, that's my story about the apartment. I really wonder. It doesn't feel threatening, and I wonder why it threw an outfit at me. You know.
It wanted you to wear it.
It wanted you to wear that.
Yeah, and I mean, it was my favorite hoodie. I don't really know what was going on with that.
It's like, you look good in this. Put this on.
And
Are you supposed to?
and it was so it was cool and almost like comedic, like the speed of it. It just went like swoop and then swoop, and I don't know if it wanted to scare me or what. I'm not scared of it. I just almost can feel or know that just something's up in that area.
Liz says it was a pair of stilettos.
Work the runway.
And then a story from my dad and his dad, my grandpa. One time they were driving through the desert to Texas, and they suddenly see, and you know, there's nothing for hours. They're just driving. They suddenly see a man in a green parka with a hood, and he's hunched over, and his arms are tight somehow. And they describe his walking as a quick shuffle. And he's walking the same direction that they're driving. And it's just strange. They're like, okay, that's weird. My dad falls asleep. About 2 hours later, my grandpa is like, hey, wake up, look at this. He points, and they're coming up on the same man doing the same thing, going the same direction. And they never knew what that was. And so I'm wondering if that's like, something out, a spirit, a demon, I don't know, something specific out in the desert, and other people may, see that, like a highway, I don't know, ghost or something.
Yeah, stuff like that happens a lot. You'll see that on Interstate 8 coming back from San Diego to back to Imperial Valley, like towards El Centro.
Wow.
We've seen that a lot. And not just me driving by myself, it'd be like me and a group of friends. You see different things like that. One time I was heading from IVC back towards Brawley, Westmoreland area, and past one of the stoplights after IVC, heading north on the Highway 111, the old Highway 111, not the new one. Me and this one guy named Devin seen a person that was walking south, but you could only see like from their hips up to their head. Below from their
Yeah.
hips down, you could not see, like as if they didn't have legs. They're just fucking. Oops, I cussed. I gotta beep that out. They're just walking, but without legs. I thought that was so funny.
Wow.
Selena's has a ghost woman. Woo!
When you said the ghosts of children, or the whatever it is that makes the voice of children, I actually have two experiences of that in my family. My great grandmother's house, multiple people in our family would hear children specifically in the kitchen, and running like towards the kitchen or from it. We never found out what that was or why. And in my family, maybe like 7 years later, my brother was home alone, and he and his now wife heard kids jumping on his bed really hard. And yeah, those are the two kid related things, I guess, that I've been around or heard of in my family.
But nothing like really like drastic happened there though, like with that spirit or spirits.
No, it almost seems. I mean, to me, it maybe is like. I mean, can there be like something nice and childish, or I don't really know what.
Yeah, sometimes it is a kid, but if it's a bunch of kids, I don't know. That's different. Um,
Yeah.
but if it's what's it called? If nothing scary ever happened there, like no one ever got their no one ever got like their leg pulled, while they were asleep, and they wake up and they're like getting pulled off the bed.
Yeah.
If you never seen anything else like but just like a kid, then yeah, chances are it's just a kid. But if you see like something creepy, or you see like what's it called? If you see something that is not a kid, and it was just doing something to scare, like get a scare out of you, it was something pretending to be a kid. Like there'd be times where you would see like as if it was me here at this house. And at the time I had long hair like past my butt. And what's it called? After a certain period of time, I shaved my head. Well, one of my niece's boyfriends that was here, he was visiting. He was standing outside against the fence, looking, this way towards the house. And he was outside by himself for a while. And what's it called? My niece went outside, and she was facing him, this way, uh, away from the house. And they're talking, and he kept doing this. Yeah, and she says, "What's wrong with you, dude?" And he says, I just seen George peek out of the kitchen door
Whoa.
without opening the kitchen door, and his hair was long." And she says, "He shaved his head." He says, "I know he shaved his head,
Whoa.
but he's peeking like as if I'm peeking like this,
Yeah.
out the door without even opening the door, like as if I could go through a door, peeking
Whoa.
out like this with a smile, like, and my hair's long, like touching the ground, you know.
Wow.
And I had just shaved my head, so he's tripping out, and she starts laughing at him and telling him, "Yeah, it likes you, it wants you." And he's all, "Shut up, don't say that." And she says, "Yeah, it's gonna grab your butt, watch." But he wasn't the only one that's seen stuff like that here, like there's something here that would imitate me and imitate other people. It would even imitate the dogs. I remember my mom had this dog named it was a Chinese pug. Dang it, the name was at the tip of my tongue, but it was a
Pekingese?
no, it was a Chinese pug.
Oh.
Well, the Chinese pug was outside with me. I let the dogs out to go do their business, to go poop and pee. And after that, I opened the door to see what time it was, because we have a clock right here. So I opened the door to see what time it was, and there's a Chinese pug standing in the middle of the living room, like, right here, probably where my laptop is, at that time, looking at me. And I smile and I said, "Oh, her name was Tabitha. That was the Chinese pug's name." I looked at her and I said, "You're not Tabitha." And I turned around and I closed the door. And just because I said Tabitha's name, my mom's Chinese pug goes running up to me and was looking at me like, "What?" And then there's other times where I'd be hanging out with either friends or family members here. And my mom's in the kitchen with us, talking and stuff. And then you hear like something in the room saying, "Georgie, Georgie," in my mom's voice, but have that slight like weirdness to it and shakiness to it, to where like, you know, like if you didn't see my mom standing in front of you, you knew it was not her. It was someone imitating her. And there's
Yeah.
no one else in the house except for us group of people in the kitchen, you know.
Yeah, I've experienced what do you think about when something uses your voice but it's not, cuz that also happens in my apartment. And as far as I've looked into, the furthest I can think is like something maybe called a mimic, but again, it's not scary to me.
Uh, I don't know. Like I don't put a category on it. I just think it's something that's intelligent and is bored and wants your attention.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a
Jesse.
photograph in my family from the early '90s. You know, just like a disposable photo of a bonfire, and there's definitely a silhouette of a man. Definitely, it's there, and of course, it goes away at the face. It turns into like a different shade of red or black or whatever, but you can see it. One of us has it. I don't know where that photo is right now, but I've seen it in person. It's cool.
Yeah, take care of photos like that, dude. Because my mom used to have one. Um, I forgot who she said took the picture, but it was her mom. You know, my grandma, her brother James, which is my uncle James, and her dad, which is my grandpa Adolf, standing in front of a vehicle, and right off to the side, because it's my grandma and my grandpa,
Mm-hmm.
and my uncle James is in the middle. My uncle James was a little kid at that time, but right off to the side is just the head of a ghost, and you knew it was a ghost because it's just a floating head, and there's no eyes in it, and it's looking straight at the camera.
Well,
And they can't find it, and
oh man.
I seriously think when I had taken it to school for show and tell, someone stole it.
Oh
But my mom thinks that what's it called? One of my relatives took it, you know.
yeah, that was going on in our family too. A relative did take it, and they got it back, but I don't know where it's at now. I hope it's safe. I feel like it is somewhere.
And we used to have a bunch of pictures of different things here, a bunch of them, man. It's just, people see them, they like them, they take them because it's something they don't see all the time, you know.
Yeah.
And it's
One time we were having a family gathering at my grandpa's house, and it's late, and the doorbell rings, and no one's there. It's about like 11:30ish, going into midnight. Um, then like after midnight, the doorbell rings again, and no one's there. And then it happens a third time. So the guys, like my dad and uncles, they disable the doorbell, and sure enough, it goes off again, and no one's there. And then about everyone gets scared. We all go in like the living room. I was little, um, and then we hear this huge crash from one of that like furthest room away from us, and it turns out the top of the closet had collapsed and just dropped a bunch of stuff. And then everyone was just scared for the rest of the night. But that was what happened then.
that's so cool.
Oh, full sleep.
Man, my sister had moved into this house in El Centro. It was wicked. I've passed by there a few weeks ago, and it's a little different, but it was wicked. I used to love staying there by myself. It's
Cool.
it's just a place that you could not take babies to. I mean, infants, like, that can't talk and all that. That didn't matter. It was when they could walk around and talk and run around and stuff.
Hmm.
You didn't want to take them there because there was different things there. There was something that was like what you guys would call demonic. That one I used to like messing with. Uh, what's it called? There's this girl there that was killed there by her uncle. She was like 16. She was the one that didn't like kids. And then what's it called? There was a cat that had died there while they were renovating the house, and you would hear it meow. Or if you were in my sister's room, it would. If you were laying there on her bed, because there's times where, like I said, I stayed there by myself, and then my sister had even told me that there was times where she would be laying on her bed after work because she used to work for she was a case manager for mental health,
Mm-hmm.
and there was times where she would take a double shift, so when she come home she's like exhausted, and so she went to go and lay on her bed, and she felt like as if a cat jumped on her bed
Whoa.
and started, almost like they're kneading dough.
Yeah. Whoa.
And my sister opens her eyes to look, and there's no cat, and everything stopped, like the purring stopped. But when she had her eyes closed and was trying to fall asleep, I mean, she wasn't asleep yet. It's like you lay down, and then you're just like this. All of a sudden, the cat jumps on the bed, starts doing this, and you hear, the purring, and you're like, you open your eyes and you're looking around, and there's no cat. It's like, what the heck,
Yeah.
And she told me that because I was taking a shower in the restroom that was in her room, and what's it called? I kept hearing a cat meow, and I was like, "Oh yeah, a cat jumped in the window. It's my cat now." And I look out the shower curtain, and there's no cat there, but it's meowing, and I'm like, "What the heck?" But at the same time, it sounds like when my cat Incubus died, and what's it called? A truck had run him over, and the sound when you hear it, it's almost like have you seen that movie, the original movie Poltergeist?
Yeah. Of
Yeah.
course.
When Carol Ann is saying "mommy" through the TV.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that effect, and picture the sound almost like as if there's a surround sound system. You cannot pinpoint. You cannot pinpoint where it's coming from because it sounds like it's coming from everywhere in that room. Well, it was like that. It was exactly like that, and I was like, "Oh man, it's dead." Yeah. So when I was done with my shower and what's it called? I got dressed and everything. I went to the living room and I told my sister, "Hey, your house is haunted. There's something that likes to knock on your doors, your porch door." I said, "There's a little girl in here." I said, "In Renee's room, that inside of her closet." I said, "There's something wicked in there, and it trips out on me." I said, "And then there's a cat here that meows." And then that's when she told me about the cat. And then she was saying that, yeah, you know, that whatever likes to, and I figured out what everything was. What it was that would knock on the door, and it knocked like a cop too, like.
Oh.
And at that time I had people in my band. One of them was my best friend when he was alive. His name was David, and the other guy, his name was Chuck. He was our drummer. Um, I had him over. I had them both over at my sister's house because, like I said, I used to like staying there. I used to love staying there.
Mhm.
I would stay there by myself and turn all the lights off and sit there. And most of the time I would be in my nephew's room, and that used to be that girl's room. And let's see, Jesse says, "Knock like me when my mom has her door locked when I visit." That's probably why your mom locks the door. But what's it called? I figured out what all that was, and I didn't tell my sister. I just listened to what she said because I guess the landlord didn't live in the valley. I think the landlord lived up in India, and the landlord had told her that it was haunted. That people only last there for like 6 months at the most. That people last there like a month and they leave. And dang, I wish I could have bought the house. When I passed by the other day, I seen that people are living there, and the front porch doesn't have the screens on it anymore, but it still has that door to it. And what's it called? I don't know how the people there are living there,
Yeah.
but the girl would walk up to my nephew's door and just stand there, and I would start laughing, and I would tell her some messed up things only because I was mad at her because she would like scaring my nephew and my niece. Yeah, and they would stay over here. They got tired of being scared over there, so they would come over here and stay here. And yeah, this place was active. This house that I'm in right now was active, but it wouldn't mess with you like the ones at my sister's would mess with you. The ones here, they do their own thing, and once in a while you'll see them and stuff. But at my sister's house, I was like, okay, you guys are gonna stay over here. I'm gonna go to your house. So I was staying at my sister's house, and when that girl would walk up to the door, and I would have the lights off, but the door was on, you would hear her walk through the hallway up to the door, and you can hear her breathing too. So this one time I started laughing. I was like, "Why are you breathing for? You're dead." Yeah, and it didn't answer.
Are you breathing?
Yeah, it didn't answer. And then I said, "What do you want? You think I'm cute, huh?" And I said, "How come you don't like kids?" Because that day I was mad at her because there was one of my sister's other daughters was there, and she had taken two of her kids, and they were still baby like. One of them was 3, and the other one was 5. And what's it called? The one that was the girl, because Bubba was one, and the other one was Charisma. Charisma, she could talk. She ran to her dad, and what's it called? Made him like get her. So he's holding her like this, and she's hiding her face inside his shirt. And she's saying, "No, no, no, there's a girl here. She's got a cut on her neck." And it's not a cut, it's that they hung her. After they strangled her, and then they tried to hang her inside of the restroom that was in the hallway. And I guess they tried, like dummies, they tried to hang her on the what's it called, the shower curtain rod, and it fell. Then after that, they dragged her to my niece's room and hung her on the closet. She was already dead, but they tried to the person who killed her tried to make it look like a suicide. And then her sister came home, and what's it called? That was her sister's room. Walked to that room, seen that girl hanging there, and was like this, and she fell on her. Well, the reason why we know all that is because it made my niece that was staying in that room dream that. She told that to her mom, and her mom said that, yeah, that's everything that happened. And so what's it called? I felt bad for her because of that, but I didn't like her because she used to like scaring the kids.
Yeah.
And Charisma, when she was hiding her face in her dad's shirt, and she was saying, "No, no, she's making ugly faces at me. She likes to scare me. She don't like me." That's what made me mad, because after she calmed down and everything, she was okay.
Okay.
Then what's it called? After that, she was in the living room with me, and she goes and stands in the what's it called? In the opening of the kitchen. I hear a cabinet door open by itself, and I'm standing in the living room, watching her, because I didn't like the kids running around by themselves in that house.
Yeah.
Because of that girl, that ghost girl. Well, I hear the cabinet door open by itself, and then I hear a cup get thrown out. And I I used to know the girl's name back then. Right now, I don't remember her name. But what's it called? I said her name, as like to warn her. And then after that, my sister had this one AAA water bottle that was empty in the kitchen. After that, you hear that get thrown to the floor, and you start hearing it get rolled back and forth, back and forth. And that's when Charisma started crying. And she turns and looks at me and she says, "She don't like me." I said, "It's okay, baby. It's okay." And so she ran to the room where her dad was. And so after that, they had to leave. They didn't like being there.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
so that's why later on that night, I was in my nephew's room and I had all the lights off, like all the lights off. And she walks up to the door and I start telling her like messed up stuff, because it was her uncle that killed her. And so I said some very obscene things to her, like, you know, hey, because I'm trying to keep it PG,
All
but
right.
yeah, I said some really messed up things to her that her uncle made
Like,
her uncle made her do to him. But I said, hey, why don't you do that to me? Like your uncle used to make you do to you. I mean, what like your uncle used to make you do to him.
no, he did not.
Yeah. And then I zipped my zipper down and I pulled it out and I was like, come on. I said, come on. I said, what? It's okay for you to scare kids. It's okay for you to,
Yeah, seriously.
get my niece and my nephew so scared that they want to go and stay at my house.
Uh-huh.
But you don't think that someone
On
like me is
purpose.
gonna, and you don't think someone like me is gonna do something about it? I said, why do you think I'm staying here? I said, the same way you want to scare them is the same way I'm scaring you.
Yeah.
I said, how do you like it? How do you like someone like me scaring you, knowing that I can call things here that will suck you like soup?
Yeah.
I said, how does it make you feel? And I stayed quiet and I was listening, and you hear, "Ah." And what's it called? For 3 days, nothing in that house happened for 3 days.
Good.
Like nothing at all. No doors opening and slamming by themselves. No one knocked all hard on the door. And then there was this window because there was a room. Like here's the door, and this is the living room.
Yeah.
Well, there's a wall, and going past that wall is a room. Well, on the porch, it's a window right here, and that's the window to this room.
Uh-huh.
You would hear like someone was banging on the window too.
Wow. Wow.
And so yeah, I got that ghost so upset that there was no activity from her for like 3 days.
Good.
And then finally, because I was teaching her a lesson, it's like, you've never met anybody like me. I'm not going to be all, oh, ghost, and run away.
Totally. Yeah, yeah.
Like, no, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to torment you because I can call things that'll eat you like soup,
Yeah.
But what's it called? So after that, that's when I invited David and Chuck over, because David was in my coven. Chuck wasn't. Chuck was just our drummer.
Yeah.
But David used to practice different methods of witchcraft with me, right?
Yeah.
So they come over, and David already knew what was up, but I was telling Chuck, if there's any activity, have fun with it. But if you hear someone knocking at that door, I said, don't answer the door. Look through the peephole first. If you don't see anyone there, don't answer the door. I said, because I just locked the porch door right now. The doorbell is inside the porch. Like you have to walk into the porch and up to the door right here to the, to the living room door and actually ring the doorbell next to it. So if the porch door is locked, that means you can't come into the porch.
Yeah.
That means you have to knock at the porch door and pray that we hear you, you know?
Yeah.
And he's all, why? And David starts laughing at him, and I was like, you're not the sharpest tool in the shed, huh, Chuck? Hanging around with a couple of occultists and ask, why? It should snap into your head because paranormal things happen here. I said, yeah, because paranormal things happen here, Chuck. And if you answer the door, I'm going to be mad because... And I started explaining to him about the girl and how she died and everything. I said, and if you answer that door, what's it called? What actually happens is it's almost like it plays out everything that happened when that girl died,
Yeah.
And so we're kicking back and we're drinking, and me and David are talking about some new music that we had came up with, and I started telling him about how I made some invocations I was going to throw into our music and stuff. And what's it called? Chuck's asking questions, and I was a little mean with him because, like I said, he was a little slow, but at the same time, not because he was slow, but because he had a smart mouth, and not in a cool, sarcastic, funny way, like in the way where like you wanted to pimp slap him for being such a smart, butthole,
Yeah.
And what's it called? During the middle of our conversation, you hear
Oh my god.
right on the door, and Chuck's all, "Oh, dude, someone's knocking," and he gets up, and I'm like, all right, go ahead, answer the door.
You get it.
Yeah.
And he looks out, and he says, "There's no one there," but you still hear like, and then you start hearing it on the window, like boom, 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 boom. And then, instead of like remembering what I told him, he opens the door and he starts looking around. And I was like, "Oh, dude." Comes back in, closes the door, and says, "What was that?" And I told him, "The ghost, dude. It wasn't the girl, though. Watch. Let's kick back and listen." So we go and I sit on the couch, and I'm just sitting there, and David's like, all happy, like, what's gonna happen, And Chuck's still standing, and he's like, "I don't hear nothing." I said, "Shut up and listen." Well, you hear like as if my sister's door opens and then slams, bam. But you're looking at my sister's door, and my sister's door is just shut. But it's like it's like a memory, like it's acting out what happened.
Yeah.
And then you start like, okay, all of a sudden my sister's stereo turns on loud, boom. And what's it called? But it's not music that my sister listens to.
Mm-hmm.
It's the music that they listened to at that time when she got killed.
Oh yeah.
That one girl. You start hearing like a dude's voice, but you can't really hear what they're saying. And then you hear that girl's voice, and you can't really hear what they're saying. You just know that they're arguing.
Yeah, you feel it. You can hear enough to feel it and stuff.
Yeah, and then also like the way it is, you know when two people are arguing, even if you can't really hear what they're saying, they're arguing.
Definitely, yeah.
Then you hear like a bunch of crashing around, like as if someone's fighting or getting thrown around or something,
Yeah.
And then after a while, because you hear almost like as if it's a girl screaming, and then after a while you don't hear anything from them, and then the music turns off, boom. And then after the music turns off, you hear like as if my sister's door got opened, but the door is still closed.
Wow.
Then you hear like as if someone's being dragged into the hall, like from my sister's room, through the living room, into the hallway, into the restroom. And the restroom door is open, but you hear like as if the restroom door is being opened, someone's getting dragged in there, and then you hear like as if it's the shower curtains getting messed with, and then you hear it fall. Bing.
Wow.
Then after that, you hear like as if
Gosh.
they're dragging someone from the restroom into the hallway again, and you
Oh.
hear my niece's door get opened. And you hear like as if someone drags someone into my niece's room, and like as if the closet door is shaking, like they're hanging someone on the closet door.
Wow.
And then after that, you hear my sister's door get slammed. I mean, not my sister's. You hear my niece's door get slammed, and then you hear like as if someone's walking through the hallway, walking through the living room. And I cussed it out when it was walking through the living room.
Uh-huh.
And what's it called? You hear like as if the front door gets opened, locked, and then closed, and then you hear the porch door get open, locked, and closed. And I turn and I look at Chuck. I said, "That's why." He's all, "What? What? So that's what happens?" I said, "Yeah. It acts out what happened over and over and over again. Every time you open the door, when someone knocks like that, it happens." I said, and that's what happened to that girl. I said, she got strangled, but for some reason she doesn't like kids. I said, so that's why I mess with her. I said, if she liked kids and wouldn't try to scare my nieces and nephews and the little kids, I said, then I wouldn't mess with her. I said, but because she likes to scare them, I said, that's why I mess with her. I said, and that's why I make those comments about her uncle, because that's who killed her. I said, that's who used to, mess with her and stuff and killed her. And he was like, dude, that's trippy. And David's still sitting there all like tripping out and happy because all this is happening.
Yeah.
And then I was telling Chuck, where that girl was hung to make look like a suicide on my niece's closet. I said, there's something in that closet and in my niece's room that's trippy as hell. Bye-bye, Felicia.
Bye,
Deadpool.
Felicia.
Yeah. Deadpool Kid 13 says, screw this, I'm out. Bye, Felicia. Well,
when I hear cases like this, not only is it this crazy murder, not only is there like this, like different kinds of abuse going on, and then their family, and then it ends in death. How could something not be there? To me,
Yep.
yeah, and I've also heard of some people's theories that things are like on a loop, like you said, something loops, and then that makes me think, what is time? Like why would it loop, and what happened?
Deadpool's still here. He says, I want to use a different kind of rope to tease her. I did tease her with rope. It says message retracted. I did tease her with a lot of things. What's it called? It's just I don't want to get too graphic on here because I want to. As soon as I hit a 1,000 subscribers, I want to be monetized. I don't want to be one of them channels where you're demonetized because every time you make a video, it's all graphic and violent and all like cussing and all that. I do have a video on here where it's all cussing and it's just nonchalant, just chilling and talking. But as soon as I found out about being monetized and all that, I was like, oh, okay, cool.
yeah, just.
But yeah, I did tease her a lot.
Did you
I mean,
kind
a
of like,
lot.
in a way, did you feel like you built a relationship with her, even if it was teasing or something? Did you feel like, I don't know, did she get mad? Did she not like it? Did she stay quiet? Kind of.
She would. I think I upset her a lot.
Yeah,
A lot. But see, I would do it every time she would mess with one of my family members.
totally, totally.
And what's it called? It was a trip though because it was such an intelligent haunting. Like even here, but here it's like it does what it wants whenever it wants to. There, it was like as if she was constantly there, not like she disappeared somewhere and stuff. Yeah,
That's intense. Yeah.
and you would take pictures and you would see like a ball of light, and you knew it was her though,
Yeah.
but it was like a ball of light, and it didn't matter if it was daytime or nighttime. Um, you could like say like we were sitting there right now, and the way I'm talking about her, she would make something happen. Like there was this one time, it was New Year's, and we had a gig in Chuck's backyard, and there was a bunch of people there. And I had a lot of fun. I didn't even fall asleep. The next day, we were done. We were done kicking back and everything. So they dropped me off at my sister's house, and my sister's friend was there, and her boyfriend was there. And what's it called? My sister's friend was in the room with my sister talking, and her that girl's boyfriend was in the living room sitting down. So I went to go sit next to him on the couch, and I'm sitting there smiling at him, and he's all, "What's up, Georgie?" And I said, "So, have you experienced anything here yet?" And he says, "Like what?" And I said, you know, ghosts." And he says, "Oh yeah." And he said his girlfriend's name. She told me about all that, but um, nothing's happened so far. I'm still waiting. And I said, "Well, let's keep talking about it." And I started telling him, how it was a girl, and I was like, "Yeah, man, she's hot." And what's it called? Started saying like how I would do her and this and that. Like being really disrespectful towards her. And all of a sudden, like, because my sister had a stereo in the living room also,
Yeah.
besides her room. But the stereo she had two glass doors on it. Well, you hear one of the glass doors get pushed, like a click, and then
Yeah.
it opens,
Ooh.
like slow. And the dude's just sitting there, like he looks at me, with a smile, and then he looks back at the stereo. And then it's like this door wants to close, and then it opens like that, and then like it wants to close, and it stays like this. And I said, "Come on, do it, do it." And
Yeah.
so it opens, and then it starts to close, and then as soon as it hits the, where the magnet part is, it's like as if someone pressed it, like click, click,
Ooh.
like they closed it. And
Yeah.
I looked at him and I said, "Yeah, exactly." I said, "Exactly. Now you experienced her." And he's just sitting there with a smile. He's all, "Dude,
No.
that's so rad." And I was like, "Exactly, huh?" I said, "It's sick." I said, "I just don't like that she don't like kids, dude."
Yeah. So just that one thing.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that I saw the clothes fly off my dryer, because I'm sure now that at least in this one space and area that I was in, like something happened. So I really hope that I see more and not, yeah, witness some more. Dude, there's in my hometown, there was a restaurant. When I learned about it and I was a kid, it was a restaurant, and it used to be an old Victorian house, and it's huge, and it was haunted. Workers would get like scratches on their backs, and stuff would happen in the basement. Stuff would drop by itself, things like that, and it eventually. End of the story, nothing works out there. Like, I just visited my parents this weekend, and nothing. It's a different business from what it was last time. Like, people seem to not be able to stay there. And it's been
Jess
like a
says,
decade, almost 2 decades probably.
Jesse says, I don't get how you saying what you said to her. Like, how would that hurt a ghost? Or why or how did this girl's feelings get hurt? Ghosts have feelings? Well, okay, that's what they call provoking. That's why when you see like ghost hunter shows and stuff, oh, we're gonna provoke it. Yeah, everything has feelings. Everything feels something, just like you have feelings. You know,
Yep.
we're these divine spiritual beings having a human experience.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
and what's it called? Let's see. And ratings by Lex at Jess. LOL true. Well, like I said, we are just divine beings having a human experience, almost like a video game. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why when you go and you see these things on TV, or if you go experience them yourself, they do what they call provoking, and they provoke them not what's it called to get a reaction from them. The reason why I did and said what I did and said to her was because she liked scaring my niece and my nephew. And like I said, they started staying here at my house instead of being at their house. So I figured because she did that, I went and stayed at their house to mess with her for messing with them. That's why. And that's all right. Jesse says, I don't like my human experience. That's because you haven't changed it. You can change your surroundings according to your will, but you have to practice that. You have to practice it. And that's the only way you can change it, is by practicing it. And that's one thing I wouldn't want happening, being scratched and bruised. I'd slap that ghost back into life. Well, you could try. But yeah, that's the only reason why I even messed with that ghost like that, was because she would mess with my niece and my nephew so much that they started staying here.
Yeah.
You know? Other than that,
Little ghost bully.
huh?
Have you ever met or talked with people who have NDEs, near-death experiences? I'm one of those. I had one as a kid, and I think it affected me, but I don't know how. I don't think I'd be able to put it into words, but I think it was a good, cool thing, trippy thing.
What was that again?
Near-death experiences.
Oh,
I've had one of those, and I wonder if that's why I don't know. I'm
Well, like you're sensitive?
sensitive maybe to things.
well, see, what I think that is when someone goes through something like that, um, your brain your brain has these neurons that fire off, right? And you're able to use some parts of your brain, and some parts of your brain you're not able to use. Supposedly, we only use, I think it was 10% of our brain.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go through something like that, it's almost like as if some of your neurons start firing off, and parts of your brain that you didn't use before, that has to do with that part of your brain that lets you be sensitive.
Yeah.
Lets you see things and be sensitive towards things like that. And
Yeah.
what's it called? Same with like some people who experienced this, and what's it called? Had never experienced it before, and then living in a house like that for so long, they know it's almost like they just feel it. Gauzy. That's just DMT, Jimmy.
DMT.
Well, it's true. You
Oh
know,
yeah, I mean, I'm
when
sure I got a blast.
your pineal gland spits out DMT.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean that's I've gone through a lot of those. That's why I have this molecule tattooed on me, the DMT molecule.
Sick. Oh, that's really cool, dude.
Yeah.
I
I'm like, brother, that's DMT, homie.
I don't remember much of life before it, but definitely after I was different, and it's a good different. I just don't know what it is.
Jesse, no wonder I'm a panda. You're a panda? That's cool.
What do
Much
you
love
think
to
of?
Jesse
Oh,
for being a panda.
what do you think of numerology? Maybe like synchronicity, seeing 1111, seeing.
All right, that's the I've experienced that a lot.
Yeah, me too. My whole yeah.
But numerology, there's different ways you can use that too. Just like okay, you can use that on your name and your birthday to figure out, uh, figure out certain things about yourself that you didn't know, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And what's it called? Like say you're interested in a person, but you don't know them yet. Well, if you find out their full name, you can use numerology to see if they're worth, your time or not.
Yeah.
To see what kind of person they are.
Yeah.
And I think names are funny too because some people say, I don't like my name. Well, you picked it. No, my parents did. You influenced your parents to pick what they named you.
Oh, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Wow.
And then before we were born, we agreed to certain lessons that we were to learn in this life.
God's gift to mankind.
But before you were born, you agreed to certain lessons you would learn in this lifetime.
Uh-huh.
And then you also picked your name. You picked how you would look according to both of your parents' DNA.
Yeah.
And then you're born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Yeah, that's cool.
But for some reason, you're made or you're made to forget. And on my experiences of talking to different deities, I've asked like why, and they said because
I think it's just gonna die.
they said because it's not fun to know everything. It's lonely.
Yeah, I was actually yesterday telling my brother like something along the lines of, we die, but then we're here right now and we just don't remember the last times around, Maybe some things in some ways we do, but I'm not gonna remember my brother or my family the next time, But I'll love them, I'm sure.
Well, a lot of the people that you're really close to in this lifetime, it's because you knew them in another life.
Yeah, I believe that totally. It is. It is.
Yeah. And I can talk forever on that subject. That's because I've asked a lot of questions.
Will it reach? No.
When talking to different deities and stuff that I've evoked and invoked.
Is there another or no? Okay, I'll move.
And then also on my DMT trips.
Nice. There's a book called The Black Arts by Richard Cavendish there's a chapter on numerology, and it's all these quotes from like these dudes way back when who were into it, and And a lot of them, it said when they deeply studied numbers, it drove them crazy. And I think that's kind of cool and weird, like, because they just see it everywhere, and it, everything makes sense kind of once, I guess, if you learn enough or something. But numbers are trippy.
Yeah, it's because everything is numbers, man.
Yeah, it is.
Everything's a binary code. Everything is 0110.
Yeah.
Everything is made of numbers. Everything is made of energy. Yeah. Everything is made of matter. All that is of matter is energy, and energy's purest form is light.
Mm-hmm. What do you think it means if my whole life the most common tarot cards I've drawn are High Priestess and Two of Cups, I believe. Two of Cups.
High Priestess could. It depends on what other cards are around it, but the High Priestess could mean that you have to follow your. If they're together, it's like you have to follow your intuition on this relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's my whole life. I've pulled her so many times that I kind of just keep her on my altar now and chill.
Yeah. And then it could also be if you're with this person, you might be keeping secrets from them. They could be keeping secrets from you, or you guys aren't talking right now. It depends on that. That's why it's always good when the person's giving you a personal reading, and they're asking you these different things. You're able to like explain to them. Oh yeah, we're not talking right now. It's like, oh, okay, and then they pull out a few more cards and they'll tell you. Eleni, I'll do you a tarot reading if you donate to my channel. I'll give you a tarot reading right now to let you know what's happening between you and Ronnie.
Ooh. I would love to go to the Winchester House and Queen Mary, which is possible for me. So I don't know why I haven't been yet, but I want to do that. No.
Oh, dude, I still haven't. Thanks for reminding me. I still haven't seen that movie. Is it on Netflix?
Oh my gosh, I haven't either. But yeah, no, I don't think so. But
dang,
I want to watch it.
I gotta watch that movie.
Yeah.
I heard about it a long time ago because
I want to see it.
my dad used to get a kick out of me because I've always had these gifts. I've always been like this, but it's because of my mom's side of the family.
Yep.
They were the ones that were witches, and
Yep.
what's it called? So what I remember he was sitting here, and what's it called? The funny thing is, I was in my room and I heard George. I was like, "Oh, what does he want now?" Yeah, and so I came to the living room and he says, "Watch this." And so I'm watching what it is, and he was watching this program that was about hauntings, and yeah, to me it was cool as hell because what's it called? I actually sat down and watched, and I was like, "What?" A lady had a rich lady whose husband made, or his family made the Winchester rifles.
It's amazing.
Turn around and did this.
Man, she had nightly seances. Nightly.
Yeah, it reminded me of my Aunt Terry because my Aunt Terry would always make me read her tarot cards, and what's it called? Make me oh dang it. She would make me read her tarot cards, and she would make me play Ouija board with her every day.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And especially after her boyfriend had died, what's it called? That's when it got really serious, like almost like she was obsessed, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so I told her, there you go, Eleni. There you go. There's the what's it called, the URL. So if you donate to my channel, I'll do you a tarot reading.
Yeah, get some readings, you guys.
Yep. You just gotta donate, and I'll do your readings. Um, but man, okay, everything I read for my aunt, tripped out my aunt because I was a kid, and first they tested me out with what's it called, poker cards, and I read those and it tripped them out, and after that, one of my nephews, who's a little older than me, had this girlfriend from Sealy. If you're from the valley, you know where Sealy is. It's like
Yeah.
on the other side of El Centro and Imperial. Well, what's it called? I was there visiting, and I was telling her, there's this old guy standing in your because we were sitting in the dining area, and
Yeah.
I kept seeing like as if there was someone standing in the hallway with that had reading glasses on. Uh, what's it called? A red and red and black, or red, white, and black type of button up plaid shirt,
Ooh.
and what's it called? Some blue jeans on, and some working boots, standing in the hallway, and what's it called? Staring at me, and he told me that he was um, their grandpa. And so I'm telling her and her sister this, right? It was my nephew's girlfriend and her sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we gotta go.
Okay.
Hey, George.
Uh-huh.
I have to go run another errand for dinner, so I do have to say adios, man.
All right. You guys take care. I'll go ahead and tell you guys the story later on when I'm back in touch with you guys.
Please do. Thank you so much. This was awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to let me
I'm
know what your.
subscribed and everything. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to all your stuff.
I want to do a tarot reading. I've never had one done before, so let me know when I can get that.
All right.
Toxic Avenger.
Yeah. Did you tell him that he had the 3 cards?
Yeah, the your thumbnail for tonight's show. I had 3 out of 5 of your cards on my altar right now with some flowers and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, you can use the tarot cards with your magic spells.
Nice.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah.
everybody have a good night, and
It was
yeah,
nice talking
thank
to
you.
everybody.
Yeah, nice talking.
Thanks for having us.
You guys will be back on again soon. Watch, you'll see.
I hope. Okay.
Yeah, I got the ringer on, so it'll tell me when you're having your next one. Posted.
Oh, pretty soon. You guys have seen Z Nation?
No, I haven't.
No, but I know of it. Should I watch it?
All right, there's gonna be this guy that was on there. His name is Johnny Collins. He's been on there for a few seasons. I think he said his son was on there and another relative had been on there, and he's gonna come out with me and start talking about his experiences. So pretty soon you're gonna see someone from Z Nation, on my show talking about their ghost experiences and paranormal experiences, and also he's a pretty big medical marijuana advocate. So it'll be pretty interesting to have him on here and talk. Plus, he loves WWE. Yeah, wrestling. And yeah, Liz, I won't forget to have the photo out.
Oops.
I can't show it right now in this segment, only because uh what's it called? I don't have the equipment to do that. But what I will do is I'll make it the thumbnail once I'm done with this episode. I'll make it the thumbnail, and then tomorrow is the continuation of Walpurgisnacht, the celebration. It starts on the last night of April and it ends May 1st, which today's the 30th, the last night of April,
Yeah.
and it ends May 1st. So I'll continue it tomorrow, and I'll have it as the thumbnail for tomorrow also.
What kind of vibe can we tap into for tonight to participate in this?
Well, it's supposed to be a lustful night, but
ooh, I could do that.
Crowley did teach sex magic,
Yeah,
so
I did.
you can incorporate masturbation or sex into your ritual.
Or the Lone Ranger.
Okay,
Well,
night's the night.
it's everything is born from something,
Yeah.
and how do you create, because it's spawned from something. Well, you can use that as a very powerful force of energy to manifest your desire.
Good. All right.
Beltine, yep, Beltine tonight and tomorrow. Jesse, did I hear sex? How old are you, Jesse? If you're over 18, you can stay. If you're not, you have to leave. But yeah, you're gonna be using tonight. The more powerful rituals are gonna be like what's it called? You'll be using a compassion ritual, which is asking for something for yourself and or for someone that you love, and then you can also use a lust or love ritual.
Okay. Cool.
And then as me being an occultist, giving you guys advice, you can make your own spells, your own rituals. It's all in what you're feeling. You're getting your brain in that state of mind to where you're programming your subconscious to manifest exactly what your desires are.
Cool.
So throw on your favorite music that has to do with what you want to manifest.
Oh, cool.
Use use the scents that you like. Any incense, any candles. It doesn't matter. It's what matters is does it make you feel, and does that have to do with what your desire is, so that you manifest it.
That is awesome to hear. I'm glad that's right now. Cool. Thank you. Cool.
Well, you guys take care, right?
Okay. You too.
Nice meeting you guys, man. Thanks for coming on my show.
Yeah. Thanks
All
for
right, peace out and check you later.
All right. Good night, everyone.
I want the D ritual. That's what Jesse said. Well, Jesse, you're way over 18, so yes, you can have the D ritual. But also, on a serious note, if you have never heard about sex magic, go read about it, Jesse. It's very interesting. The theory and practice of it, it's very interesting. And it works. It actually works. Sorry, I had to buzz in and out. These two boys are relying on me for dinner. Leslie should have told him, go make a sandwich. So did Eleni ever come back? Man, it's fun cooking. I love cooking. Jesse says, be like me, Elizabeth, don't cook. Ha! No, I love cooking, dude. Cooking is good. Plus, cooking is how you show someone you care about them. It's Taco Tuesday, yeah. But cooking is a way to show a person that you care about them. Yep, yep, yep. That could be another reason why you're lonely, Jesse. Got to learn how to cook. Show someone that you care. Yep, yep, yep. So, getting back to that story about the tarot cards, what happened was my nephew, me, his girlfriend, and his girlfriend's sister was sitting in the dining room. I seen that old guy standing there telling me that he was um their grandpa, which is my nephew's girlfriend at that time, and her sister. I described what he looked like to her. She went to her parents' room, brought out a picture, and I had described that guy to a T. Exactly what he looked like. And she was tripping out and telling me, like, dude, you actually do have a gift. Yeah, yeah. My brother Ghazi Bear said, I can show her how to cook. Jesse said, ha ha ha, don't make fun of me. So, Jesse, I suggest you talk to my brother Ghazi Bear. He can show you how to cook, and you won't be lonely anymore. He's actually a very nice guy. You guys should talk to each other and exchange information. I'll cook for someone I love. Well, how can you find someone to love if you have no one to love right now? You have to find that person first, right? I know how to make bomb arancini. What is arancini? Is that an Italian dish? Arancini. And I've never heard of it. I've heard of all kinds of Italian dishes, but never heard of arancini. Well, my nephew's girlfriend tripped out on me, brought out that picture, and showed me that I had described her grandpa exactly to a T. Then she turned around and told me, I have a gift. And I said, yeah, I do have that gift. So, what's it called? That's when she told me, she asked me if I could read tarot cards. I said, yeah, but I've only, done it with poker cards. So we went to her room because she told me that her mom had gotten her some tarot cards and she never used them because she could never figure them out. But if I could give her a reading and if it was accurate, she would give me the cards. So long story short, I showed her to shuffle the cards, passed them out, read them for her, and afterwards the cards were mine. And yes, my brother Ghazi Bear, he's okay. First, Jessica said that the dish was Sicilian, and my brother Ghazi Bear says I'm Sicilian Italian. Yes, he's not lying. So, if you want to make your dish for someone who really is Sicilian, to see if it's bomb or not, that's one person you got to talk to. Talk to my brother Ghazi Bear. You will not be disappointed, Jesse. Yep, 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 Jesse. Jesse asks, so you can make arancini? Yeah, my brother Ghazi Bear can make a lot of dishes, man. And source adversary. I like them with chicken or turkey with peas. Jessica says, I like mine with peas too. Ghazi Bear never made it, but my great aunt was bomb. Yep. I see. You're trying to hook me up with your friend, Georgie. Trying to hook you up with my brother. But I don't know. If you have a few screws loose, I might pass you to my homie source adversary. And Jesse says, well, mine are better. We don't know that. You have to cook for us. Cook some of that arancini for Ghazi Bear, source adversary, and me. Yep. We'll be the judge. Yeah, that's how I got my first tarot deck. After that, my second tarot deck was one of our friends, Muttley, had passed away, and his mom gave me his tarot deck. Yep. Yeah, Jesse, you got to add us on Facebook so we can eat some of the food that you're making. As a matter of fact, which deck or brand are they? This one? I think they're called the Rider Waite or something like that. Something like that. I forgot already. See, I deactivated my FB. What else you got? Well, I also have Instagram. I have Facebook and Instagram. I don't have Snapchat. I used to. I just don't have it anymore. Facebook equals nonsense. Yes, but all those platforms help me get more subscribers and cool people like you to come and watch my videos. Yep. You got to think about that. You have Instagram? All right. You need to add me to Instagram then. Yep. Watch. I'll put my nickname from Instagram right here. I'm the only person with this nickname on there. Nobody else. Bam. There you go. Oops. My keyboard's acting weird. It's this. There you go. Dab my trip. That one right there. Not the first one. Not dab my trip. It's dab my trip. The second one I put. It's because my keyboard was acting up. It's got attitude. Yep. Oh. I wish Eleni would have stayed in here. I would have read her tarot. Woo. All right, guys. I've been on here long enough. Been telling all them ghost stories. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle for collective. Let's see. What messages do we have for collective today? You added me? All right. Yay. I'll go ahead and follow you back. And then, what's it called? I'll give. Well, followed. And then, afterwards, I'm gonna give my brother Ghazi Bear your Instagram name, so that way he can go and follow you too. Okay. And then you guys can DM each other and exchange recipes. See, and that's another thing I share on here, Jesse, is my recipes. A few episodes ago, I shared my biscuit recipe. My biscuits are good, especially with butter or gravy. But if you ever want to come out on here and share a couple of your recipes, all you need is just to give me your Gmail account and make sure you have that Hangouts app on your phone, and you can share your recipe on here. Yep. Yeah, Ghazi Bear has lots of recipes. So what's the message for collective? Message for collective. Three more shuffles. What is the message for collective? And remember, whoever's listening in on Spotify, Red Circle, or watching on YouTube, this is a general reading for collective. And let me see. Ghazi Bear says, Georgie, did you get a copy of the family cookbook? Not yet. See if you can get one from Mom, and that way I can have it. But I remember Mom telling me about it. I just haven't gotten a copy yet. Yep. Here we go. Message for collective. All right. All y'all should be celebrating right now. A lot of you are going to be getting a wish fulfilled. This is a wish fulfillment card. Okay? And thank you, Ghazi Bear. Yeah, I needed a copy of the family cookbook. But yeah, right here this is the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is stating that some of y'all need to be celebrating. Some of y'all are getting your wish fulfilled. Emotional fulfillment also, but some of y'all are getting a wish that you've been wanting granted, okay? So there's some good things coming. So some of you have been losing sleep over stress. You got to let go of that. You got to stop stressing out, stop worrying, and stop doubting. Okay? Why? Because it's getting in the way of you receiving this, your Nine of Cups. So get rid of that Nine of Swords and turn it into the Nine of Cups. You stop worrying, doubting, and fearing, and stop thinking of yourself in a negative way. But also anything that's been stressing you out, just let it go. Write it down on a piece of paper, read it out loud, get all mad, crumble it up, and throw it in the trash. Let it go. So that way you can let that go, and it'll make room so that this Nine of Cups can come into your life. You will have a fish. I've been craving catfish nuggets. But what's it called? You guys will have a wish come true. Okay? Right here's the tower. If you do what the tarot are telling you, what you're gonna have is a tower moment, and that's a moment of realization, like, oh, that's why all that happened. Others of you, there's been like it feels like as if your whole world has fallen apart. Well, now that your whole world has fallen apart, all there's left to do is to build from the ground up again. But this time, when you build from the ground up again, you'll be building a stronger, solid foundation. Okay? You'll have a strong, solid foundation to build upon. So that way you get this Nine of Cups, your wish fulfillment. All right? Next card, a Hermit card. Some of y'all got to stop being a hermit, including myself. I love being a hermit, but some of y'all got to stop being a hermit and get out there and start having some fun. The more you distract yourself with fun and accomplishing your goals and living your life, the faster this Nine of Cups comes into your life. Okay? The faster the good things start happening and coming into your life. You almost become a magnet to it, and it starts to pull it in. Things have been going slow. Things have been going slow. That's what this Knight of Pentacles is. It almost feels like you're stuck, or what you've been wanting is stuck and it hasn't came yet. Well, that's where you got to stop with that Nine of Swords. Stop worrying, stop doubting, stop fearing. Stop telling yourself it's never going to happen for yourself. And let it go. Start, you know what? Start listening to music that makes you happy. And make sure it's not music that's, sad story music. You're like, oh, I love that song. No, make sure it's happy music, Listen to Wu-Tang. Yeah, listen to some Wu-Tang. Watch things and listen to things that make you laugh, funny things, cool things, stuff with good vibes, Try to be a hippie for about a couple of weeks, good vibes, and be groovy, for a couple of weeks, and you'll see it'll make a difference. But if you do that, it'll start unstucking this Knight of Pentacles. For some of you, it's been a relationship that you've been waiting for a long time to happen for you. And the reason why it hasn't happened is because, for one, everything has its time and place. Two, also, you could be prolonging it by this fear, doubt, and worry. Saying, oh, it's never going to happen for me, Well, it is. That's what we're all here for. We're all here to create. We're all here to have fun. And we're all here to love. And how do you do that? By creating it, And if you get in the way of your manifestations, you get in the way of yourself, you get in the way of your, creating, well, then you're just prolonging it. And like Jesse says, so true, because he don't like me. Huh. Yeah. But Jesse, there's a couple of guys on here that wanted to talk to you. That's another good reason why to come to my YouTube channel and join in on all the fun. I play matchmaker. I'm Georgie the Cupid. Picture me with the little bow and arrow, and match you up with someone. My brother Ghazi Bear, he's a good person to talk to. But let's see. One more tarot card. And a lot of you guys have to rest, relax, and rest. Stop stressing. Take care of yourself. Take care of your body. Make yourself stronger, okay? Make yourself stronger. Rest. All right? I'm a hermit between cuttings. That's true. Yep. Well, guys, I had a lot of fun, and I hope Eleni gets a hold of me. But I really wanted to read her tarot for her. But if not, let me see. Source adversary, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Well, that's another reason why a lot of us are hermits, you know. We cut ourselves out from the rest of the world because everyone is so caught up in being sheeple. So when we become hermits, we start to realize ourselves. You know, we have a moment of self-realization, and we start to make ourselves stronger, and we start to what? I am, I will, I create. We start to, I am an active, living, breathing God. My true will cannot be denied. And I create myself as well as my world around me. You know, you start to realize how to do that. And each and every person is an artist that learns how to do that in their own way. You know, it's another art. You know, to create to change your surroundings according to your will, or oh, the law of attraction, or oh, manifestation, or witchcraft. To change your surroundings according to your will. It's an art, and each person does it a little different. Okay? Each person does it a little different. But once you've done that ritual, whether it's, going to church and praying to your God, whether it's, using a candle with a certain what's it called, color, and looking into the flames and visualizing your outcome, however you get yourself in that state of mind, you know you're all we're all doing the same thing, but every person is doing it in their own way. It's all an art. It's all an art. It's like, okay, say for instance, like I've said in another show, you can get some paint and canvases, and you tell 5 people, okay, here, I want you guys to paint a mushroom for me. And you send them to different rooms and have them paint a mushroom. When they're done, they come back, display their paintings, and you look at them. Each and every one of the paintings are going to be a painting of a mushroom, right? They created something from nothing, from their own thoughts. Okay, he wants a mushroom. Okay, let's paint a mushroom. So when you look at those paintings, yeah, it's a painting of a mushroom, but you're going to get different paintings. They're all going to be their own way of painting a mushroom, right? But it's all the same thing. What is that? It's painting a mushroom. It's a painting of a mushroom. So manifesting your desires is the same way. Witchcraft is the same way. They gave it different pretty names, like the law of attraction, prayer, but all you're really doing is you're getting thought, which is energy, your emotions, that's energy, and action, that's energy, and throwing it out into the universe, and then letting it come back to you. You let it go, and you let it come back to you. And by letting it go, that's how you're pulling it in. This universe is a yin yang, it's a push pull. You're pushing it out when you're throwing out all your energy into, the universe, the earth, the world, your world that you create. And then you forget about it, you go have fun, distract yourself, make yourself happy, you know, um, do things that you like. Some of us like growing things, and then harvesting them. Just do different things like that. And what's it called? Oh man, I gotta say this right now. Lucas and Michael, you guys are pretty irritating. Every time I've tried kicking back, or like right now I'm having a show, Lucas or Michael Scott has to call me. That's why you guys, when you guys see this later on, I post on Facebook that I'm having the show at a certain time, so you know I'm live. And if you guys see this later on, you see that when I'm live, tune into my show, subscribe to my show. Michael Scott and Lucas, you guys suck. Tune into my show. That way, if you have any questions, just like these kind, cool people are here, you know, I can answer your questions here. Otherwise, when you call during my show while I'm live and with my peeps, I'm going to ignore you. So that's the last time I tell you guys this, okay? Lucas and Michael Scott, it's the last time I tell you guys this. But what's it called? As soon as you guys throw your energy out there, no matter what method you're using, it's just like you're painting. The way you get to start pulling it back to you is to leave it alone. Stop worrying about it. Stop doubting that oh, it's not going to work, or oh, it's not going to happen. Stop worrying about it. Stop doubting it, and then stop fearing that it's never going to happen for you. All right. And then just forget about it. Let the universe do its job. Let it work. It's almost like once you've done this, you already know. Okay, it's mine. It's happened. Now all I gotta do is just start doing all these other things that's important to me in order for all these things to fall into place. And I come to the period of time where it's supposed to happen, and it'll happen. Everything has its time and place. It'll happen when it's supposed to happen. And that's how a lot of us start manifesting things that we want. But the smaller things like pizza, cigarettes, beer, all the smaller things are easier to manifest than the bigger things, like my true love, money, stuff like that. So I hope you guys had fun, and I hope you guys learned a lot of stuff. I hope you guys learned a lot of stuff from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the two guests I had on today, Liz and Nathan. They were pretty cool. That was the first time I actually got to hear those stories and talk to them. Liz, I got to talk to earlier when she contacted me and told me that she wanted to be on the show, and told me about her experiences. She didn't tell me the stories. She just told me, that she had experiences and stuff, and told me a few things about the shadow people that she's seen. But I didn't let her tell me the stories, because it's almost like, someone tells you, hey, there's this movie that's cool as hell, and I want you to see it. So then you tell them, okay, don't tell me about it. Don't tell me what's in it, because when I see it, I want to enjoy it. So it was something like that. But yeah, they were cool as hell. So I'll be having them on here again. But like I said, I will be having this guy that was on Z Nation. His name is Johnny Collins, just like my brother Josh's homie Johnny Collins, but this guy is Johnny Collins. what's it called? He, uh, he's been on a lot of episodes of Z Nation. If you guys want, you can look him up. But yeah, we were talking earlier today, and he's a pretty cool person. Like I said, really big on being a medical marijuana advocate. So pretty soon, I'm gonna schedule in a time for him. He told me as soon as possible. So next show or the show after that, we will have him come on here and talk about his experiences and tell us a little bit more about the episodes that he came out on in Z Nation. So it'll be pretty fun, guys. I hope you guys tune in for that too. But love you guys. I give you guys much love. Throw up the heart for you guys. Send out much love to everyone that's tuned in. Which Carter did he play? I'm not sure. I didn't ask him. Oh, which character? What his character name? I didn't ask him. I was just really. I was just stoked, like really stoked. Uh, um, when he added me on Facebook, if you go to his Facebook account, you see the characters that he was that what's it called that he worked with too. Yeah. Source Adversary, I love you, bro. We have to hang out sometime in the near future. I love you too, Jeremy. You're cool as hell, dude. Yeah, we will hang out soon, man. We will hang out soon in the near future. Hell, if I can, I'll have if you can, whenever you have time, we'll schedule you in for a show, bro. So that way you come up on here and that way you can talk about some of your paranormal experiences, yeah. Um, but yeah, as soon as he tells, as soon as that guy Johnny tells me what day and time, because he also told me he wanted to make a podcast with me for medical marijuana advocates and another one for WWE wrestling fans. As soon as we figure stuff out for that, we'll be having that. But for now, we're gonna figure out a day and time when he'll be coming out on my show and we'll be talking. So yeah, that's gonna actually be fun. And then tomorrow, I'll be having another person on here. If it's not him, it's gonna be someone else on here, and that should be fun too. I'm not sure yet who, but I know it will be someone. Yeah. Well, guys, Jesse says I like old school wrestling, WWF. ECW is what Source Adversary said. How many of you people remember and know what y'all know about the Wolf Pack? Y'all remember the Wolf Pack? Huh? Y'all remember the Wolf Pack? What y'all know about the Wolf Pack, huh? And NWO. You have a great night too, bro. Well, guys, I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys learned a lot on here too. You guys take care. You guys also have a fun night and a fun day. Okay, you guys take care. Much love. Love you guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in. And what's it called? If you guys are new to this station, please smash that subscribe button. Stomp on that like button. Pimp slap that bell notification icon. All right? And tell all your friends about this channel. And share my videos on your pages. All right? Show all my stuff to your friends. Okay? You guys take care. Love you guys. I know I've said it a few times, but I mean it. Okay? Have some fun. Remember, And remember laughter. That's important. Remember laughter, okay? Well, I'm your tarot reader, your host, Georgie Porgy of Night Sky Ministries Tarot Reading. Peace out. And check you laters.